Welcome back for those of you who joined us for the Western Conference Free Agency Recap. This is Real Men, Real Sports. Robert the Goose. Got your boy Steven here, the Real OG Skates. Today we're going to touch briefly on some Eastern Conference signings. And we're going to kind of run them down and kind of give our thoughts about who got overpaid, who got underpaid, and who got what they deserved.
How do you feel about Hassan Whiteside?
Hassan Whiteside, I think that I thought he was going to get more. I really did. I thought he was going to break the $100 million club.
Yeah.
I know the Mavericks
got a max deal.
For 4 years, though. I mean, the Mavs offered him the same deal. I thought he was going to get the 5. And he made a good point. You know, he's played for 7 franchises in his career. He didn't want to go anywhere else. You know, I get that. You know, I mean, he probably bought a house last year in Miami. For a lot of players, you know, moving like that much, you know, it'll cost you more to pick up and move.
And the fact that he's been on so many different teams is, you know,
chemistry issues. Yeah. You know, he likes his coach. I think if they lose Dwayne Wade, that might take a little bit of a factor. Especially considering we don't ever know what's going on with Chris Bosh anymore.
He's a bruiser, though, so I think it's a good signing.
Yeah, I think with him and Gordon Dragic, they still have a great nucleus.
I just don't think he's going to be as effective, because I do like Hassan Whiteside because we did have him on my team, but I do think that, you know, I would have rather had him for less.
They had a lot. You weren't going to get him for less, though. He said he wasn't
going to get a max deal.
He wasn't signing anything less than a max deal. You know, they put a lot of faith in his upside. I think when you're the Heat, you had to, because if you lose Dwayne Wade and you lose Hassan Whiteside, what are you left with? You're left with a team that probably does not contend for a playoff spot in the East anymore. So I think that they did what they had to do. He signed the deal. I'm a little bitter about it because I wanted him to come to Dallas. I feel like he would have made us a force to be reckoned with in the West. But you know what? I'm happy for the guy. He got what he wanted. He got to stay home. And, you know, I think he deserves that contract because he's still very young. And he did some great things last year.
Yeah.
Definitely next on our list, we got Nicholas Batum going to Charlotte.
Nicholas Batum, 5-year deal. He got a big deal.
5 years, $120 million. Big deal. That's another one I'm bitter about because he was supposed to be with Mavericks. So again, guys,
I've always liked Batum. Man.
A big trend here of people re-signing with the teams they were with, and you know, Batum got the 5th year. That 5th year, I'm pretty sure, was a factor for him. You know, he broke the $100 million club. 5 years ago, Batum was never a player who you think would break $100 million on a contract. But with this, he did, and I think he deserved it. I mean, he played really well for the Hornets. He was a major reason why they won some games, and I think they needed to keep him there so that they could continue to grow as a team. Like, you can't lose a guy like that and think you're going to get better.
The Hornets I think they did really well as free agency. They also picked up Marvin Williams. I mean, they made the playoffs last year. I mean, they had to bring back Batum. So I think they're going to be somebody that scores a lot of points, hopefully can defend really well, but I mean, I think that was actually one of the better deals in free agency.
Yeah, I think he's worth the money. I really do.
He can shoot, he can defend. Let's move on. What we got next? Drummond?
Andre Drummond, another one. 5 year, $130 million. I mean, again, it's kind of like, it's almost the same conversation as Batum.
I find it interesting how that franchise was always talking about trading him.
I just feel like they were never going to get what he was worth. Yeah. And they don't have anything else that really holds that franchise together. I mean, Andre Drummond is your best player. You need to pay him like so, and they did. You know, 5 years, $130 million. I mean, that's, you know, he's worth that money. I mean, he's a good defender, a great rebounder. I mean, he scores consistently, and he's the centerpiece of your entire team. I mean, they need to build around him.
Yeah.
Detroit needs to do more in the trade market, in the draft, and in future free agencies to make sure they don't waste his glory years. Because he is one of the better centers in the NBA nowadays.
Yep.
So I mean, you need to take advantage of that, and I think that they did what they had to do again.
The other 2 deals kind of made no sense because, quite frankly, I don't know much about those players like John Lure.
Yeah, I think they kind of overpaid some role players.
Yeah, $42 million. I mean, role players are getting paid now. That's been the entire thing on Twitter now. It's like the football NFL is like, man, I can go be a role player in the NBA and get 40
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those tight ends who played college basketball.
I do like the Ish Smith signing because he's young. He can.
Yeah, I think Detroit is going to be one of the younger teams that wins a lot of games.
Yeah,
like they're going to surprise a lot of teams, and they're going to come out swinging, and they're going to put down some of the big dogs.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson.
But I wonder about that youth going into a playoff scenario. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to hang with that pressure.
No, they're not.
Stage. But I think that
they're
the
not
Pistons,
built that way yet.
Yeah, but I think the Pistons are going in the right direction, and I think that if they continue to do so year in, year out, then in a couple years they're going to be a playoff contender for sure.
I think the best, in my opinion, the best signing in the East was the Celtics signing Horford.
I like
because they've been fighting for a top center, and they got
True, and I think that they have proven that they're a playoff team without it. So adding it takes them to that next level.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you have such a young team there now. You know, you got Isaiah Thomas. You've got
Marcus Smith.
No,
Marcus Smart, my bad.
Yeah, Marcus Smart.
I was like, that does not even sound right.
Not even right. But you have such a young center, and that team has been able to compete with some of the bigger teams in the league. You know, they gave the Cavaliers trouble 2 years ago. I mean, they really took it to LeBron. I think he was sweating a little bit about it.
Yeah.
You know, Isaiah Thomas, he's a prolific scorer, especially for being as small as he is. I mean, he just gets to he shoots well, he gets to the paint.
I think what's going to be interesting with them is all these European players they drafted.
Yeah.
They drafted so many.
They did, yeah. So when those guys start coming to the U.S., I mean, it's going to really change the look of that team.
They have a lot of upside.
A lot of upside. They still have a lot of draft picks.
Yeah,
going forward. I mean, the Celtics.
So that's my best. I think that was the best deal on the East.
Yeah, I mean, and they're I think if they would have gotten Kevin Durant, they would have been a NBA Finals team.
He's not talking to them anymore, is he?
No, not anymore.
He's between the Warriors.
He's down to the Warriors and the Thunder. But the scary thing is, guys, is think about this, and I want you to, the Celtics fans especially who are watching, don't count out getting Kevin Durant just yet. Because there's a good chance he signs a 2-year deal in OKC, and you're back in contention for Kevin Durant after next season.
They're going to be fighting for Cousins.
I think everyone's going to be fighting for Cousins.
Yes. He's going to stay, though.
I hope not. I hope he comes to Dallas.
You want everybody in Dallas, and they always miss out on everybody in Dallas.
So, moving past Andre Drummond, we'll go to another... Actually, moving past Al Horford, we're going to go to another center, and Dwight Howard.
Going back home?
Going back home to Atlanta and getting paid. Something all the analysts said wasn't going to happen, happened. And I knew it was going to happen somewhere. I knew somebody was going to give him 20 plus. It was going to happen.
There was just not a huge market for big.
There wasn't a huge market, and there was less of a huge market for Dwight Howard, but there were still teams that were very interested in his ability to rebound, play defense, and score. I mean, Atlanta... It's a great pickup for them. I mean, they needed a center, and they went out and they got a guy who used to be Defensive Player of the Year. He was the top center for how many years? He can still play. And I think that having him there where he can kind of be the centerpiece ego-wise is going to help because he doesn't have to compete. He's not going to have such a bad attitude.
He's home. He's going to feel comfortable. He's going to have confidence.
Yeah.
I think it's just really about how fast they can play. I think Dwight Howard can run the floor. He can rebound. He can defend. And I think that's what they needed. I think they were better off keeping out Horford there, but...
I think Horford fit the system better.
Yeah.
But I think you're not really losing a step with Dwight Howard.
Well, especially there's a kind of controversial between Marvin Williams and Al Horford.
Yeah.
But
I think you don't lose a step with adding Dwight Howard. I think you're able to keep up with what Horford was doing, and I think that's a smart signing by Atlanta. I think they definitely took advantage, and they paid a good amount for him, but I think he was worth the money for them.
The next one for you Bulls fans, what do you think about Rajon Rondo? Rondo!
I think they're gonna lose him next year. So guys, I was a Rondo hater in Boston. No, in Boston, I didn't like Rondo.
Yeah.
He came to Dallas. We gave up way too much for him. And I turned the other way, and I tried to give him a chance, and I did. I gave him a chance. I was on the Rondo train for the season. And the playoffs rolled around, and the way he presented himself in the playoffs, the way he acted, left a horrible taste in my mouth. So ever since then, I could not care less about what Rondo does. I think he used the Kings. We talked about it earlier in the season. He used the Kings as a platform where he could go and pad his statistics and then go sign a big deal somewhere. He didn't quite get the deal he wanted. But again, now he's going to go to the Bulls, and Jimmy Butler's going to make him look great on the assist board. And I think, again, he's going to pad his stats.
I don't think he leads the league again in assists.
Probably not. He's going to pad his stats a little bit, and he's going to leave the Bulls probably and try to go somewhere else and get a bigger deal. So, I mean, I think that Rondo is coming towards the end of his career, and he's trying to make as much money as he can before he's gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Bulls haven't done much since. I mean, they traded away Derrick Rose, and, they're kind of going to build that team around Jimmy Butler. It doesn't look like they plan on re-signing Pau Gasol.
I like their backcourt for the most part. They have some good shooters.
But they're losing Pau Gasol. They lost Derrick Rose, which I'm not a big fan of Derrick Rose. They lost Joakim Noah. So they're definitely, I feel like they're in a rebuilding mode. The good thing is that Jimmy Butler is very young and very talented, so he can survive a rebuild.
And I guess we'll just have to wait and see approach to how
will. I think Rondo is a Band-Aid on that team. That's why he only got a $24 million deal. I mean, that's not somebody they see as their future, and he's not seeing the Bulls as his future either. So I think
what's going to be interesting is in that offense is like who's going to carry the ball, because Jimmy Butler can be very ball dominant. That was the problem that entire offense had when Derrick Rose was there.
I think they're going to let Rondo. I think they're going to. The fact that Rondo is not a scorer is going to allow Jimmy Butler to not feel threatened by Rondo. So I think Rondo's just going to be the guy who's going to set up Jimmy Butler. With Derrick Rose, you always had to worry about Derrick Rose trying to do too much. And that's why I think him and Jimmy Butler clash. But I think with Rondo, he can't shoot the jumper. He's no longer has...
He's just a penetrator in addition.
He no longer has the driving ability for layups that he used to. So his drive and dish ability, his passing game is still top notch. That's going to allow Jimmy Butler to get some much better looks, and Jimmy Butler's stats are going to go way up, I think.
Any Knicks fans out there?
Courtney
Lee, the guy that I wanted.
Lucky SOBs. You got Carmelo, who was wasting away in New York. You drafted Porzingis, who could be the next Dirk Nowitzki. Okay, the guy he's just really good. I mean, he's just solid all around. And that's all you had. You had an aging, horrible Jose Calderon. That's just all you had. You had nothing else. And then I turn around and they trade for Derrick Rose. And then I turn around and they sign Joakim Noah. And then I turn around and they sign Courtney Lee. I mean, Phil Jackson's working magic over there, man. I mean, anybody who lost faith in Phil Jackson last year, he has now given you that faith back. And this is why he's one of the best.
I think the fan base is kind of like, kind of like our fan base is like, there's so much turmoil. Anything that they do, they sign Joakim Noah, everyone's like, they signed Joakim Noah, and they get really upset easily.
I mean, there's no reason to get upset at this, guys. I mean, realistically, Derrick Rose is injury prone, but he's 100 times better. A hurt Derrick Rose is better than a Jose Calderon.
Yeah.
Let's be real. A Joakim Noah, since losing Tyson Chandler back to Dallas, they have not had a decent center. Porzingis is a power forward. He is not a center. He's not big or strong enough to play center. Joakim Noah is an ex-defensive player of the year. You have now a stable center.
They're going to be better on the defensive side of the ball.
They're going to be better everywhere. They're going to be better on all sides of the ball.
Would you say they're a playoff contender?
No, they're a playoff team.
Really?
They are a playoff team.
Everybody's like giving them that love, and I think they did get better this offseason already with these free agent signings, but I don't think that they have depth on the bench.
They're going to take... This is going to take so much pressure off Carmelo, he might have his best season in the last 5 years.
Guess we'll see.
But I think definitely, guys, I'm calling it right now. I think the Knicks are a playoff team. I really do. I mean, they've got enough now to contend. I think that Derrick Rose,
if he can stay healthy,
Carmelo's the guy there. I mean, it's the Carmelo show. He is the centerpiece of that franchise. You are going to go in there, and your job is going to be to take some pressure off Carmelo.
I feel like he's the face of the franchise, and then Porzingis is...
He's the future of the franchise. Yeah. But I think that Carmelo takes pressure off of Rose takes pressure off Carmelo, and the whole thing is going to balance out really well, and it's going to end up working to both of their advantages.
Right.
So I think that team now, I have faith in it. I think they're going to succeed.
What do you think about Dellavedova?
I'm not talking about Dellavedova. We are not talking about his contract at all.
When there was links and rumors of him being linked to the Mavericks and the Kings, I was just like, please.
$38 million. $38 million. $38 million.
Want me to say it one more time?
$38 million.
I think they're all just
the Bucks. What are you doing? Why?
They just
what do you think you're gonna do with what? Defense. Dude.
That's what people are saying. That he's scrappy.
Oh, scrappy means you know who was scrappy? Mark Madsen. Who remembers that guy? Mark Madsen was scrappy. Laker fans? Mark Madsen?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say he was the Puerto Rican. From the Mavericks, you had your boy
JJ Barea.
JJ Barea.
JJ Barea is lightning, man. That guy can do that. He doesn't play defense. JJ Barea can score. He's fast. He can shoot. Dellavedova cannot do anything. Okay, he was dominated by Steph Curry 2 years ago in the finals. He had one game where he scored 20 points, and yeah, they won that game, but it was one game. he was also probably single-handedly the reason why they got mopped those other games. So, not worth it. There's a reason why Mo Williams became the backup in the finals. He straight took Dellavedova's position. So you not only paid $38 million for a backup, you paid that much money for a third-string point guard.
They pay that much for somebody that has a ring. You can go in the locker room and be like, look, this is what we do.
Caron Butler has a ring too, but he didn't even play in the finals when we beat the Heat. So, I mean, rings don't mean much these days.
A good budget signing in the East was the Pacers. They picked up Al Jefferson.
I've
always liked Al Jefferson. The only thing I don't like about him, he kind of reminds me of the old school center NBA game.
Yeah,
and
big.
I think that's part of his theme is his age and his productivity. I think that's why he didn't get that big of a deal. But 3 years, $30 million, that's a good deal, man.
That's, you know, when he signed it, I was like, man, that's a lot of money. And then I signed all the other deals, and I was like, man, that's so cheap.
And that's better than having. I know he's not there anymore, but what's his name? Roy Hibbert. Ugh. I mean, who can rebound, but he couldn't produce offensively. And you finally get Jefferson, who can produce.
I think it was a good sign. I think the Pacers have been very active since this, with the draft and everything. I think they have a good core, and I think they did everything they needed to do to compete in the East. Because when you look at the Cavaliers, it's very hard to compete with that starting lineup: Tristan Thompson, LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, and J.R. Smith. I mean, that's a solid starting five. You might even call that a big five, to be honest with you.
My sleeper pick for the East is the Wizards.
The Wizards made some good moves, They made some good moves. Bradley Beal got paid, which we knew he was going to. The second we knew that Durant was not going to the Wizards, we knew Bradley Beal was going to
called that. I mean, last year before the Durant.
There was all that,
he's
going home. I never thought he was, because he wanted to go somewhere where he could win a title.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to get that in the Wizards, at least not for 2 or 3 years. So I think Bradley Beal got a really good deal.
And it's a good team.
They just traded for Trey Burke.
Yeah.
They traded for Trey Burke from the Jazz, which I think is a good pickup for them. So I think overall they got stronger. They didn't do anything huge other than keeping their guy, but I mean, adding Trey Burke is going to definitely help them. Establish a little more offense, and I think the Wizards definitely made some good pickups.
They do.
So, I mean, do you have anything else in the East? The East is a little less exciting.
I know we're missing players, and I know a lot of people are like, what about my team?
You got Biyombo going to Orlando, 4 years, $72 million. I mean, Orlando's made some moves, a lot of trades. I'm not sure about the whole Serge Ibaka trade. I think that was a bad trade for them.
That was terrible, dude. Why would they let go of Victor Oladipo?
You got Mahinmi, also going to the Wizards. That was a good pickup by the Wizards. They got Mahinmi.
A cheap deal.
Yeah, cheap deal. 4 years, $64 million compared to some of the other ones. What else we got here? Tyler Johnson going to Brooklyn for 4 years, $50 million. A lot of these are, some role players, some fill-ins. Not a lot of superstars. We're still waiting on Kevin Durant's decision. Supposed to come tomorrow.
Jeff Green.
$50
million.
Yeah, $50 million.
Magic.
We're still, of course, LeBron. We know LeBron's going to re-sign with Cleveland. No one's even stressing about that.
I think another big one that I felt like a player was overplayed was Evan Fournier. 4 year, $85 million.
Yeah, I think Fournier got a little overpaid, but I think with them losing Oladipo, they had to pay somebody, and someone had to be.
That's what I understand. It's like you could have saved that money for your Oladipo.
Yeah, that trade didn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. I feel like you gave up youth for an aging Serge Ibaka. Like, I don't care if he had 3 blocks last season. Like, I don't care.
You already have Aaron Gordon. Who
you're losing youth.
Get better.
And they made Oklahoma City very strong. I mean, I think that they might have single-handedly convinced Kevin Durant to stay in Oklahoma City. And maybe that was their whole thing. Maybe they wanted to keep him out of the East. So they were like, let's make Oklahoma City stronger.
Yeah.
But that's our recap, guys, through day 3 of free agency.
What do you think Kevin Durant signs?
I'm going to say he stays in Oklahoma City signs a 2-year deal. I'm going to say he signs a 2-year deal with a player option, and the real Kevin Durant sweepstakes starts after next season.
I agree. So we'll be following up to see where Kevin Durant goes. We're going to be posting some more videos in the next few days. But again, please follow us. Please comment. Please like. Please subscribe.
Share the videos with your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter. We really appreciate it, guys. Remember, Twitter, RealMen_sports. Instagram, RealMenRealSports. Any questions, hit us up on Gmail, realmenrealsports@gmail.com. Definitely check out our fantasy football videos. We got some quarterback rankings. We got some running back rankings. In the next few days, we'll have some receiver rankings up. We also did cover Western Conference free agency through day 3. And we're going to be talking the next few days, probably post a couple videos talking Kings and Mavericks basketball, just for our fans out there, the teams that we like. Just, some rants, just, get some frustrations out about our teams and talk next season.
And keep on the lookout for when we start periscoping.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be doing some periscopes. Things are starting to come together a little more, guys. We also started a GoFundMe. You can find us on GoFundMe, realmenrealsports@gmail.com on there. Trying to better some equipment, get some more videos out to you guys. But don't stress it. We are going to continue to be supplying you guys with content weekly. And it's going to start to catch fire here because fantasy football season is coming and basketball season is right around the corner. So these videos will start rolling. Also, too, look out for us next week. UFC 200. We'll be doing a recap show of John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Lesnar Hunt for you MMA fans. So keep a lookout for that. This is the Real Men Real Sports, the Real OG Skates.
My name's Robert, aka The Goose. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys later.
Appreciate it, guys.